Hey guys, welcome back to the DC show. In this video, we're going to be discussing season 1 of The Last of Us. So if you haven't watched it yet, spoiler alert.
Yep. Did Ellie get to be her own mom?
Stick around.
I mean, kind of.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Technically.
I mean, like the person.
We'll explain more.
Yeah,
Stick around.
All right, guys. So season 1 wrapped up for The Last of Us.
Yeah. So it was really good and it stuck pretty close to the games. We discussed this before. We didn't play the games.
Yep.
Although I am definitely interested in playing it now for sure.
Yeah.
But from what I've read and seen, it stuck pretty close to the storyline of the game, the characters and such.
Yeah, I actually went and watched a few different YouTube videos where they edited, kind of going back and forth between the game and the show. And like some of the stuff was like line for line exactly, even the inflection, their voice, they nailed it. I mean, there's obviously some liberties they took with the show, but overall, I mean, it seems like they took a lot directly from it. It's a much closer adaptation than a lot of other things we've seen.
So what are your thoughts of it just without playing the game? Did you enjoy it? Like,
definitely enjoyed it. I'm really enjoying both Bella Ramsey and Pedro Pascal, their interpretations of these characters. I mean, man, it's kind of scary that the biggest threat in this show is humans.
Yeah.
And it seems like maybe that's more in the show than the game. That's maybe one of the liberties they took. It seems like talking to some friends that have played it, there's a lot more infected in the games where
for
it's like
sure.
constantly
You have to.
That.
Yeah. This one they're doing, they have to make it concise for TV and, so they have to tell the story, explain the characters and all this stuff. There's a lot more that goes into the production of it. So it makes sense. But yeah, I know they've already said for season 2, they're expecting to have more infected, which is good. And I think that was one of the only complaints I heard was that there wasn't enough infected zombie characters,
Yeah. I mean, they had some moments early on in the show, the clickers and stuff, which I know was a big deal. It seemed like people were quite happy with how those turned out.
They looked really good. The bloater looked just pretty damn close to probably more gross than the game. Maybe even it was pretty disgusting looking.
Yeah. So to kind of sum things up, I mean, storyline essentially, right, is that Joel has to get Ellie to the Fireflies in hopes that they can take her blood or whatever and figure out why she's maybe seemingly immune.
Yeah. So yeah, she's got bit and she didn't turn. So they figured out that she got some kind of immunity. And throughout the season, that's the whole purpose is, even though Joel begrudgingly is taking her on because he's trying to go find his brother. But he takes her along and they're going to these different places where they're supposed to be finding the Fireflies and they can't find them.
Yeah. And they get sidetracked several times. Different things happen throughout their journey where they need to kind of do something different than just trying to get her there. But for the most part, that's the end goal, right? Is to get her there. This last episode kind of was the culmination of all that.
Yeah. We got to meet Ellie's mom. The episode started with her pregnant, running through the woods, trying to get away from the infected. And she was played by Ashley Johnson, who's the voice actor of Ellie in the game. So that's really cool that they did that.
It's pretty cool that they let Troy Baker be in. I believe he played James in the previous episode or 2 episodes apart. No, it was the previous episode. Yeah, the previous one. He's the character who went to go get medicine for Ellie to give to Joel. And then, Ashley Johnson, she nailed this role, playing Anna, Ellie's mom. And, kind of sidetracked a little bit. Ashley Johnson also voices Pike in the streaming show Critical Role I've talked about on here before.
I think I saw something about that.
Yeah, that's her character. She plays that in the role-playing adventures with Critical Role, and she voices Pike in the Vox Machina, the Legend of Vox Machina TV show. So she does a lot of voice acting work, but she really nailed the actual physical acting.
And I didn't even realize that it was, who she was at the time, but she looks a lot like she could be Ellie's mom. It's a good casting in general. Just they cast her well for the character of Ellie to look like it, so, and then Bella Ramsey looks very similar. So
yeah, it's cool that they let them be a part of it and really stay kind of, connected with the whole project. You don't see that from a lot of TV shows.
Those are pretty beloved games. So, people want this show to be really good. And I think it was I liked it a lot. I'm excited for season 2. No, we're not going to spoil anything for the game or whatever, because I did see some videos that kind of spoiled it for me since I haven't played the game. But some of the characters that we're going to be introduced to are, people aren't going to be too happy with them. So
I think I did read something that they're planning maybe splitting it into 2 separate parts for season 2.
Smart. I mean,
or game 2 rather, be split into 2 seasons.
Hey, I mean, they can drag it out. I'm sure they will.
Well, yeah, I'm sure that's just as much to do with the success of the first season as much as it is to give them just more time to tell the story.
Yeah, and it takes time for editing, and especially the CGI, especially if they're going to have more of these infected characters.
Yeah,
they're going to have to do more editing. It takes time.
Yep. Yeah, so in the finale, Joel finally gets Ellie to the Fireflies, and we find out that the only way they can extract what they need essentially is to kill her.
Yeah, they have to do some kind of a surgery in her brain because apparently from birth, I mean, to backtrack a little bit, but when her mom was running through the woods and she was in labor about to give birth to Ellie, one of the infected got a hold of her and bit her on the leg, like as she was giving birth or right before, right after. It looked like it was.
It doesn't matter. The fact is that the umbilical cord was still connected. Sure. So she was sharing blood with Ellie still.
Yeah.
And she lied afterwards and said that she had already cut the umbilical cord before she got bit.
Because she knew that they would have probably killed her right away because they would have assumed she would have turned.
They would have killed her and the baby right away. Yeah.
Yeah. So she lied to protect her child, which any good mother I think would do. Yep. But it was pretty sad, and so she was when they found her, she was about to kill herself to protect her child because she was about to turn. She could feel herself about to turn, and then she was asking him like, "Please, just kill me."
Yeah. So I mean, there must have been such a small amount of the cordyceps that got into her system that it didn't take over her system, and it.
So they I don't know if they know for sure, but they assumed that the cordyceps saw that little bit in there from her birth and assumed that she was a cordyceps, so that's why they didn't turn her.
Yeah,
is the thought and theory.
Yeah, so
that's why they had to go into her brain and killed her.
So she does get bit later on in life, right? And you can see she has a bite mark on her arm, and where it started to spread a little bit, then stopped. And the theory is that like it realized it didn't need to spread because she was already infected.
Yeah, that's how it looks at it. It's a fungus. So I don't know. It's pretty crazy. And then the ending, which since I haven't played the games, I wasn't expecting with Joel when he finally got free to go try to save Ellie. He went on a freaking killing spree.
Yeah, he went on quite the rampage,
and he didn't have any mercy.
They set that up quite well. Talking about how he has a scar on the side of his head, right?
Yeah,
and he tells Ellie that someone shot and missed. Well, you find out the person that shot and missed was himself.
He tried to take his own life, but
commit suicide, and he flinched, and he didn't die, and it turns out, at least at this point in his life, that the reason to keep going is his connection with Ellie now. He has kind of like something of a replacement for the daughter he lost, someone to care about and care for. And
you see that throughout the season with him slowly starting to, find stuff she likes and, getting joke books and games and stuff for her to play and different things, connecting with her as much as he can.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. I mean, Pedro Pascal is the internet's daddy right now, like with all the different shows he's done.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's super exciting. I mean, I'm ready to see more already, but.
Yeah. So when he finally gets there though, that's when he finds out like, hey, the only way they knock him out. Right. So he comes to, and she's already in surgery, and he finds out, and they know he's going to try to stop him. So they're going to force him out to leave, walking him out with armed guards, and he takes him out, man. And then he goes on, like you said, he goes on that rampage, and he ends up essentially killing all the Fireflies, taking Ellie while she's still passed out, and then lies to her afterwards.
Yep.
And tells her that they had a bunch of kids there with the same situation that apparently are immune, and that they couldn't find a cure. So that way she doesn't think
that he murdered a bunch of people.
Not just that, but I think because he's asked there, I forget the woman's name, Myra or I don't remember.
Michelle? I don't know.
No, but anyways, yeah. So he's asked towards the end there. He's like, "Well, what do you think she would decide?" And he knows that she would probably decide to sacrifice herself, but he just finally is seeing her as like a daughter to himself, and he can't deal with losing another daughter, so. He does the selfish thing, and he lies to her. He takes everyone out and lies to her and says that, and she suspects it.
Yeah.
She kind of calls him out at the end and says, look me straight in the eyes and tell me that what you told me was true. And he does. He lies to her again, says, yeah, that's all true. I think she still doubts it, but
yeah, sometimes parents have to tell white lies to their kids just to try to protect them, protect their hearts, protect their feelings.
I mean, it's a horrible situation to be in, right?
Yeah.
Like, just even if she did sacrifice herself, it doesn't mean that it's going to work.
No.
You know, it's all just a shot in the dark. You know, they have a theory and there's a chance it could work and can essentially save humanity. There's also a chance that it wouldn't work. I mean, think about how long it takes to come up with like vaccines and stuff, you know, and in this case, they're so limited in their resources.
Yep.
Like it would take them probably decades. So
yeah. Another thing that I kind of wanted to touch on a little bit is not about the last episode specifically, is that one thing I did like about this season is that even though there was some kind of like, you know, one-off episodes where they're about just a couple of the other characters, their stories were really, really good, really well written, really beautiful. The acting was amazing. Yeah. And they still obviously connected to Ellie and Joel in the main storyline, just like you'd see them pop in here or there or whatever. But I mean, I don't know. It was really well written. I enjoyed the show a lot.
Yeah, I'm personally really excited for season 2. And apparently if they maybe split it into 2 parts, then a season 3 as well.
All right, guys, what are your thoughts on The Last of Us Season 1? Did you enjoy it? Are you excited for Season 2? Let us know in the comments below.
Be sure to like and subscribe and check out our website.
Have a marvelous day.
He finds out that maybe...
Did I move this? I think I did.
Maybe you did when you did the computer.
Yeah, because I was like, this seems like it's in a weird spot. All right, sorry.
Do you think it's going to be okay, or do we need to check the video, see where it's at?
Well, we haven't started recording yet. This is all outtake stuff right now.
Well, we're recording, though.
I know. Well, you can, I mean, we could switch to look, but I think it'll be okay.
Okay, as long as you think it's okay. And then the next video, if it's not, then we'll readjust it.
Whatever. I got enough Captain Americas to make up for it.
That's true. You do. You have a lot. There's like a whole multiverse on your shirt.
Plethora,
yeah. Yeah, it's a smorgasbord of...
It's a colony.
Oh.
Colony of bats.
It's a cornucopia of...
It's a callback to our last video. No one would know what a colony of bats is.
That's right. But you said that no one would know what a druid was. How dare you?
An orgy of Batman.
We're not talking about it in any of our videos, but I did get Doug to play Dungeons and Dragons, and I think he had a good time.
Yeah, it was fun. It was interesting. I mean, it was nice because the people that were playing with us, which were like Corey's sons and friends and such, they were, you know, having fun, and they were making silly voices and, you know, having backstories, which made it more fun. You know, I get it.
Doug's
I'm not into it as much yet, but I get it.
Your Tabaxi rogue snuck up behind a goblin boss, and you almost murdered him in like one attack. Well, 2 attacks.
I'm very sneaky.
Sneak attacks, and then you vanished. You disengage and vanished after.
Yeah, I can hide right after.
Yeah, and he's just like, "What just happened?" He was down to 1 hit point. Like, yeah, you almost took him out right away.
I was all Miyar.
I should have just had him die. As a DM, I should have just been like, "Dude, you straight up murdered that fool."
Well, you're learning too. You haven't been a DM.
That's true.
Really, so.
That's true. Not a lot, and it is a learning process.
And it's up to you. Yeah, you'll make it fun.
You had 21 hit points, and you did 20 points of damage.
Nice.
Yeah, so I should have just had him die. Are there even any infected in the show?
I think so.
Because it's been mostly humans, the threat.
Well, they did say that in season 2 there'll be more infected, but yes. Yeah.
Sure. I mean, there was a lot in the very beginning. There was a whole swarm. There was another episode there was like a swarm of them, but like...
There hasn't been a lot towards
the threat. Almost every episode's been humans, which probably is how it would be.
And that's kind of like similar to like The Walking Dead and stuff too. I mean, I think that is pretty realistic.
It's almost more terrifying, huh? That humans can be a bigger threat to ourselves than these crazy fungal infected creatures.
Yeah. I don't remember half the characters' names on freaking Mandalorian. I'm all, who the fuck is that? Sorry.
Remember Bo-Katan and Din Djarin?
Well, those ones I know, but there's some other characters I'm like...
Who else? Do you have more names on there?
Not on there. I was just saying when I was reading stuff about it or looking into it, I was like, who the fuck is this character?
He's the armorer, but that's
the armorer,
pretty clear who that is.
Sorry, we're getting off topic again.
Yeah, we are getting off topic. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
But it's still Pedro. Still Pedro.
There's a lot of Pedro going on lately.
For good reason.
I still want to watch The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Yeah, me too.
I haven't watched it yet. It looks really good.
Was that on streaming or anything?
I don't know. I'll have to look.
I'll look at that later. Focus.
All right.
Another take. Hey guys, welcome back to the DC show. In this episode, damn it, not an episode. Corey hates episodes.
I hate episodes.
We've established this beforehand. All right.
That's fine. When you view them, if one sounds better than the other, just go with it. So
just cut them both out, and I'm just like, stick around.
Yeah,
just kidding.
I'm about to speak, and then you're just all stick around. Take a moment to like and subscribe, guys, and have yourself
a cold one.
A cold one. Oh, I mean, if you're into that.